shalom, shalom, shalom. To the east, Bahala Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Yahweh Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which is 100% truth to rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, shalom. This is Matazal Lacham. I'm out here doing it again this week. Last week, I didn't go preach last week. I had some personal business I had to attend to. Okay, but I came out again this week. Today is supposed to be the vulnerable, the Mother's Day or some goddamn shit. My old lady just called me on the telephone talking about they had made dinner reservations for 2:45 this afternoon. I just got out here. I was waiting on a brother you call at Be Strong, GMS Be Strong in the Lord 144 to come out here and preach with me today. And he had to take his baby to the hospital. So I was sitting at the house waiting on him for nothing. You see what I'm saying? So now I was late, okay, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to preach the Lord's will. You know, I ain't trying to put up with all of the madness. You know what I mean? It's lucky. It's lucky. But anyway, yeah. Call all Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Yahweh Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing and teaching me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, wherever you at. Okay? Because the elect of the house of Israel come in all forms, shapes, sizes, and colors. Okay? Because Esau even set up his bullshit society based on color, right? Skin color, right? So our people come in all forms. Okay, but the only way that we can tell that they're Israelites is we have to try the Spirit by the Spirit. So we have to ask them questions, or you know, try to persuade them fully in the Holy Spirit, the Yahweh Kakwadash, to see if the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai had chosen them for election. So the only way we can do that is to come out here and preach the word, be in the instant season, in season, out of season, reproving, rebuking, exhorting, with all long suffering and doctrine. So I'm trying to do the best I can today. I think it's supposed to be like 80 degrees or whatever have you, but I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a choice. I mean, the brother's got his family. He got to take care of his baby. I understand that. Right? Today's lesson is about being in the worst case scenario in Babylon the Great, America. The land, Maritime, the land of double rebellion. They rebel against the Most High God by putting up a false image of a dead white man who happens to be a gay homosexual man by the name of Cicero Borgia. They worship every Sunday the image of this long-haired faggot who happens to be a false god. Okay, and you can go back and read that in the Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14, verses 15 to 20. And it will break down exactly what's going on here in America. Okay, during the Inquisition, when they were going around burning people at the stake, calling people witches, okay, for worshiping the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, trying to do everything they could to dissuade the children of Israel from preaching the word, being instant in season and out of season, trying to find their own people to find out if they are of the Israelites of the Holy Bible, the Israel of God, like it says in Galatians chapter 6, verse 16. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the Israel of God because, like it says in Revelation chapter 7, verse 9, that great multitude that could not be counted without number, okay, are going to be people from all walks of life, all nations, just as it was in the book of Acts chapter 2, verse 5 through 10. It's going to be the same way. Okay, you're going to have devout men, devout people that they're devout because they have a mindset for a monotheistic ideology. They believe in a higher power that is greater than themselves. Now, depending on what or how, what God that they worship, our job is to get our people away from all of that bullshit, right? And worship the true God of heaven, whose name is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. That's why we came out here to try to risk our lives and our freedom, our job, our family, just risk everything. Just put it all on the line in the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach to see if he will prove his works. Because he said in the book of Malachi chapter 3, Malachi, hold on. Let's get it. I'm going to try to get it. Malachi chapter 3, verse 10, I think it is. It starts there. Right? Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith. So that's what we're out here to do, is to prove the power of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that he would protect us from our enemies and those of them that hate us. Okay, that come because all we're doing is we're simply preaching the word, being instant in season, out of season. All we're doing is preaching the word, as the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai had decided and wanted us to do. That's all we're doing. That's it. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh, and if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Right? So that's what we're trying to do. You know, to see, improve the Most High's power, his spiritual power here in Babylon the Great here in these last days, to save his people, the elect, the Israel of the Most High, the remnant of the house of Israel, Mount Zion. Right? That's all we're doing. Anyway, we are in the worst case scenario in Babylon. Let's go to Isaiah. Chapter 1. Verse 4. Salaki. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger, they are gone away backward. And 2/3 of our people went backwards. They went back into the fucking world. Okay, it's a dual London Seer 1294. He's talking about going back into the goddamn world because he's more afraid of Esau Edom coming down and destroying his livelihood, destroying his house, but they're going to do it anyway because as of October 2025, in the EU and Great Britain, British nations, and the European nations, they're going to implement the mark of the beast, the radio frequency identification microchip the size of a grain of rice that's to be installed or subcutaneously implanted underneath your skin. That way they can keep track of you, keep your medical records, and then give you universal basic income. You know, they're going to tie in your microchip in with what you get paid at your job. And then your wages will be frozen. That's what you're going to get every fucking month. Every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, depending on how they set it up. You see, and the brother over in London Seer, it sounds to me like he wanted to go back off into the goddamn world and give us a bunch of excuses. I don't know if that was him or if it was somebody that was talking smack to him or being disrespectful. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole video I had started, but then Brother Yakal called me on the phone from GMS Be Strong in the Lord 144, saying he had to take his baby to the hospital. I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to go out and preach by myself today. That's the reason why I'm out here. Other than that, I'd probably get a repost or a backup lesson based on what the brother was saying concerning these goddamn devils. Right? Anyway, like it says in the biblical scriptures, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai controls the minds and hearts of men. So, if our people go away backwards, okay, and they go away backwards, they do everything against the will of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, then it is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that 2/3 of those individuals that go back into the fucking world are cut off on this side. Right? Verse 5, why should ye be stricken anymore, ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. Right? Our people have lost faith in the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh to come and save them. They decided to go to goddamn Islam with that old fake. Islam is just an orthodox Catholicism. Okay, it's just orthodox Catholicism, universalist ideology. That's all Islam is. The Islamic nation of what Islam is. All they're doing is they're taking the 5 books of the Torah, okay, and they're implementing it in actual law. They call it Sharia law, okay, and that's what they do all the time. And that goddamn Islamic bullshit is not the will of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, because when they developed that bullshit in 639 AD, as a matter of fact, which is 639 years after Yahweh Shah, the Son of the Most High in heaven, the Anointed, was caught up into the heaven, into the clouds, okay, with a tractor beam from the chariot of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Okay. Now, there's a precept to that after he was caught up, they, being the angels of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, brought Yahweh Shah near in the most holy of holies before the most holy Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah in the book of Daniel. Anyway, Isaiah 1, verse 6. From the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. And these wounds, bruises, and putrefying sores are the sins and iniquities of our people that partake in moism, lesbianism, women with women, leaving the natural use for that which is against nature, right? Which is, okay, woman and woman, Sodom and Gomorrah, which is like Sodom and Gomorrah behavior, right? Okay, other putrefying sores and sicknesses, wounds, okay, our people violating the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, like it says in 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, right? He that sinneth transgresses also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. And the only people that can be accounted as sinners are Israelites. All these other people are just pretending because they can get away with whatever the fuck they want to get. You know, here in America, Babylon the Great, they can get away with murder. You see what the police officer did? As 3 police officers in Memphis, Tennessee, that got away with murder and were exonerated, okay, for beating a young 17-year-old black man to death. They just beat him to death. Fuck it. Rodney King style. Right there in the middle in front of everybody. Just beat the little boy to death. And all 3 of these police officers just got exonerated from that crime. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Zechariah. Chapter 11. Verse 4. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter. And the flock of the slaughter are Israelites, 2/3 of our people that are going to be cut off and die on this side because they went back into the fucking world. And all the sins, wounds, and putrefying sores are all of the sins and iniquities that they could constantly, continuously commit right into this day. You see what I'm saying? Smoking weed, getting high, doing drugs and shit. Right? So we're supposed to feed the flock of the slaughter. And the flock of the slaughter are our people that are being led about by hooks in their jaws by Esau Edom, the so-called white men, in the form of EBT cards, welfare, HUD housing, right? Different types of them being welfare recipients of food per month. You know, where our people are constantly, what do they call it? They're constantly in codependence of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, of what he can provide for them. So they become lazy and lax in keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. A lot of our women have put Esau Edom on the pedestal of their God. You know, today's Mother's Day, they go to church. The churches all over the fucking world was filled with women today, more than likely. right? You know, and let's see, and those men, right, that be eating at the while, you know, because after a while you become what you eat, right? Anyway, Zechariah chapter 4 verse 5, chapter 11 verse 4. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'achim Yahweh Shai, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. So those 3 police officers got away with first-degree murder. The other police officer that just killed Rodney Hinton Jr.'s son, the 17-year-old that they said that he had a gun, where they couldn't prove it. And if they did find a gun afterward, it was a throwdown. They just pulled it out of their pocket or pulled some gun they pulled off some gangbanger down the street, right? That they threw in the trunk for just in case of emergency, and threw it down by the boy and said that he had the gun. Okay? Did they fingerprint the gun to see if the gun, or did it have his DNA? Did they see if he had any flash burns on his hand to see if he was shooting at the police officer? Right? Nothing. They didn't have anything. Okay? They just said so, and the motherfucker walked away scot-free. As a hero for shooting a young 17-year-old black man who was a football prodigy. He was probably the next college or NFL superstar, and got shot in the fucking back twice. One in the side of the head and the other one in the spine. Okay? This is the wickedness of these goddamn Edomites. And they let off like 7 or 8 shots at this boy. He was hiding behind a trash can, fearful for his life. Okay? Now, if he would have never took off running, I speak as a man, they probably would have never shot him. They probably just took his ass to jail and charged him with goddamn grand theft auto or whatever they said. You see what I'm saying? But the boy was scared. He thought he could outrun him. He didn't think they was going to shoot him in the fucking back. See? You know, he was just a kid. He probably ain't never known the warmth of a woman. You know what I mean? He's probably a virgin, ain't never had a woman. You know, a young woman, girl, whatever. Just killed him, fuck it. This is these Edomite devils. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, Agent Orange himself, Donald Trump, just passed another unrighteous decree where these motherfuckers are thinking about doing away with habeas corpus. Right? Let me see if I can find it for you. Okay? Habeas corpus, a legal action where a person in custody, often a prisoner, challenges the legality of their detention. It essentially means you should have the body, and it allows the court to determine if the detention is lawful and orderly, and order the prisoner's release if it's not. Right? Donald Trump signed a goddamn executive order to do away with habeas corpus. So now these motherfucking cops can come around and shoot us down in the street without any justification, without any evidence. They can just murder us in the goddamn street now by executive order. Okay? We ain't even got a gun. They can say we had a goddamn gun and the whole world will believe it. Okay? Habeas corpus. In simpler terms, it's a process to ensure someone isn't held without justification or protection against unlawful imprisonment. Right? Due process. A legal process or principle that protects individual rights from arbitrary government actions. It ensures fair treatment through the judicial system. Okay, and they're going to do away with the goddamn judicial system with these executive orders. Okay, so what we're trying to do is get 2/3 of our people to get the fuck out of the street before these Edomites shoot you down like a goddamn dog. Because now, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai has put over you a wicked and cruel Lord, like it says in Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. Okay, and the cruel Lord is Agent Orange, Donald Trump, coming up with all these goddamn unrighteous decrees and ungrievous law that they prescribe. Let's get it. Let's finish up Zechariah 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Our own shepherds are individuals such as Bishop Nate over at IUIC, or that General Yohana over at ISUPK. Got our young black men marching in a circle. Esau Edom got drones a mile up that could wipe out the whole goddamn city block full of young black men. They'd never seen it coming. With napalm. And he got them marching around in fucking circles with their bullshit technology. The Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to destroy these goddamn devils, man. Jacob's trouble has started. As of July 29, 2025, Jacob's trouble is going to start. Full-fledged, full blood. Because October 2025, they have to implement the mark of the beast. They can't go any further with the fiat currency, the United States petrodollar, as the underlying currency for all the nations of the world. Because when they crash the United States petrodollar, okay, all the other nations' finances are going to crash. Okay? Why do you think Donald Trump is pushing these tariffs? Okay, he's pushing these fucking tariffs. He's doing it deliberately and on purpose, knowing that all these other nations hate America. And now they have a guard that will help them against the tyranny of American policy and imperialism and Vladimir Putin. That's a biblical prophecy that's being fulfilled right now as we speak in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1 through 8. Okay, let's get it. Ezekiel. See, these Christians, they don't like prophecy. Prophecy means to say before it happens. They don't like that. They want to be sure that they're going to win. These evangelical Edomite Christians out here, they can't win against the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. My Father in heaven, you full of shit. Good goddamn luck. Trying to fight against him, your motherfucking arms is too short to fight against the Most High. You Edomite trash, and then the Most High tell you to your face you're going to be destroyed. Ezekiel chapter 38. Verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen. Now the army, horses and horsemen, okay, the horses are their jets, their chariots, such as their military tanks, military weaponry, okay, their drones, their robots, their fighter jets. These are the horses, and the horsemen that drive them are the pilots, right? That drive the jets, that sit at home on a goddamn computer screen telling the people what they can and what they cannot do, right? All of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. What is the modern day sword? The modern day sword is the gun, right? AR-15, AK-47, right? Pistols. What's the modern day sword? 50 caliber submachine guns on the back of these goddamn robots the size of a fucking car. They got a robot the size of this car right here. With a 50 caliber submachine gun on both directions with a robot head, a bulletproof robot head. And you got somebody that's inside of a bulletproof area or underground that's controlling it. It can run at 40 to 50 miles an hour. How you gonna outrun some shit like that? That's bulletproof. You see what I'm saying? Jacob's trouble is at the door, and 2/3 of our people don't give a shit. It's crazy. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, and Put with them, all of them, with shield and helmet. Gomer is Turkey. And all his bands, the house of Togarmah, right? Of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Those north quarters are Pakistan, Iran, the Karamanians, Iraq, the Iraqi, right? They're trying to blame it on the Houthis. These goddamn people over here in American mainstream media, they make up enemies just to go and justify going into countries and stealing their natural resources. And if anybody bitches and whines about it, they'll have them exterminated on the fucking spot. I was watching a video this morning concerning these Israeli Amalekite Khazars that call themselves the Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Okay, those Israelis, those converts are going throughout the entire world. Okay, going throughout the entire world now of the so-called Middle East or the Western Asia, exterminating all the Palestinians and people of Gaza in order to create Trump Gaza, right? The new Las Vegas of the so-called Middle East. That's what Trump is trying to do, okay? And then with these bullshit Abrahamic Accords, everybody is confederate. All of the nations of the world are confederate against keeping the Israelites from waking up and realizing that they are the Israelites of the Holy Bible and calling upon the true name of the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. That is a Hebrew name. These Christians have forgotten about that. That the Most High is the God of the Hebrews. He is not the God of every goddamn body. They going off of Paul the Apostle. Who the fuck is Paul? Right? Who are you going to believe? You going to believe the Son of Man, or you going to believe Paul the Apostle? Which one has more respect in your heart and in your mind? Paul the fucking Apostle or the Son of God? Who are you going to believe? What do you think Paul the Apostle got what he know? He got it from the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, the law, statutes, and commandments which were given to the Israelites. Okay? He's a Pharisee, like it says in Philippians chapter 3. He's the son of a Pharisee. He was circumcised on the 8th day by the law. Okay? And a day to the Lord, right? By law, it's from sundown to sundown. You see what I'm saying? These Edomite Caucasians have changed everything around and turned everything upside motherfucking down. And then when we try to tell the people, the only reason I made all these pictures around here is because an individual came by here and told me he couldn't read. You know, it's goddamn 2025 and people still can't read, man. And now Donald Trump has passed an executive order that dumbed down the people even further. They're saying they want to do away with child education. Just do away with the whole goddamn thing. And this is the president that these idiots voted in for. A cruel Lord. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 7. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So these tariffs are not going to change anything. They're going to make things worse, because the food that's on the shelf is going to skyrocket exponentially into hyperinflation. Goddamn loaf of bread will be $10. Goddamn carton of eggs, which would be very few. One family can have one carton of eggs for $30. Okay? That's where the prices are going to go, because there are no container ships at the ports of Los Angeles or New York or the Gulf of Mexico to bring in the supplies that we need in order to keep the country going. So these tariffs are going to hurt the American economy before anything happens. Because it's going to take, if they do decide to do away with the tariffs and bring shit back in here, it's going to take 90 days. By that time, there's no food on the shelf, and the people are going to bitch, whine, and complain that they can't feed their kids. And then when we try to tell you, you ain't trying to hear what we got to say. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to destroy you goddamn devils from off the face of the earth for what the fuck you've done these kids, who are Israelites. The adoption are for the Israelites. Fucking devils, man. Due process. Like I said before, Donald Trump, okay, in the news last week, The nature of Nero's persecution. Now, Nero was the Caesar of Rome and set Rome on fire during the time of Paul the Apostle. Okay? The book of Acts is about Paul going before Nero and being beheaded as a Roman citizen. Now, although he was a Roman citizen, he was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of Hebrews, right? Circumcised the 8th day, concerning the law, a Pharisee, concerning zeal, persecuting the church, like it says in Philippians chapter 3. You see what I'm saying? He persecuted the church by turning in, he was a sellout at the time. They used to call him Saul of Tarsus. Now, the garments of the men that stoned Stephen, a righteous man, right, threw their garments at the feet of Saul of Tarsus, the Pharisee. So Paul the Apostle was overseeing the stoning of the stoning of Stephen. And Stephen, all he did was upbraid the scribes and Pharisees of their day for the wickedness and taking the bag. Just like IUIC and ISUPK, they took the fucking bag. You know, a dead body in Jesus. Them motherfuckers down in Texas, they took the bag. You see? So you got all these different individuals that did just like Judas Iscariot for 30 pieces of goddamn silver and sell their own people down the street. This is the reason why the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua sent us righteous preachers and teachers to tell you the truth to your face. The nature of Nero's persecution. Believers in the way, so-called Christians, were tortured, burned alive, and crucified. Some were used as human torches to light Nero's gardens at night. Okay? For example, pay attention to the camera. Okay? See that street light over there? That's where the ideology of that street light came from. Let's read it again. Some Christians were used as human torches to light Nero's gardens at night. That's where they got the idea from the fucking street light from. That would normally be a human being on fire to light the way at night. Okay? Real shit. That's where the ideology of the goddamn street light came from. And then when we try to tell you that, you don't believe it. Y'all, you can see what you can see in your goddamn face. You don't see or do a research or a historical background check on these Edomite Caucasians. If you do a background check on Esau Edom, the so-called white man, it'll come back that he's the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Every time. Without fail. This is the only race of people that'll exterminate another race of people just to steal their land. Like it says in Psalms chapter 49, verse 11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever and that their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So after these Edomite devils rape, murder, and pillage and steal your land, they name it something else and put your ass in slavery and call you a goddamn employee. That's what these fucking Edomites do. That's the reason why the Most High God is going to destroy you faggots. You motherfuckers gotta go. You fucked up everything. You poisoned the air. You poisoned the ocean. Fucking oil slicks. You got shark. A shark is a meat-eating creature. You got sharks committing suicide, beaching themselves, killer whales, beaching themselves, porpoises, dolphins, committing suicide because there's nothing to eat in the oceans. It's all poison. You see? The nature of Nero's persecution. Believers in the way were tortured, burned alive, and crucified. Some were used as human torches to light Nero's gardens at night. This marked the first imperial persecution of Christians by the state of Rome. Okay, Rome 2.0 is America. Nero in the reincarnation is Donald fucking Trump. passing all these unrighteous decrees and grievous laws that they prescribe. Let's get it. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe be unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Who are the fatherless? These little kids out here gang banging, shooting each other in the fucking street where blood touches blood. They're the fatherless. They don't have a man in their life to tell them how to be a man, which way they should go in life. All because the greed of a goddamn woman that won't, the more kids she get, the bigger her motherfucking welfare check get every month. Okay, so the widows of the men are the prey of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. They're the prey. And they prey upon them all the fucking time. Isaiah, let's get it again. Chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled. Right? Didn't nobody spoil America? Ain't nobody spoiled America, not yet. Donald Trump is in the process of spoiling America right now through that Doge bullshit. Doge is just another position for an underling under the president to act with the powers of the president, thereby taking all the power from the president and acting as president. All Doge is like the vice president that hasn't been duly elected. Okay, and that person, it was Elon Musk. Right? Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And all these nations through these tariffs are currently in the process of dealing treacherously with Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of, Donald Trump. Right? That's what the fuck they're doing right now. Okay, my phone's saying it's overheating now. Okay, my phone is saying it's about to overheat. I ain't been out here but 30 motherfucking minutes. So ain't nothing else I can do, man. Okay, I might have to just record the rest of it. Okay, I'm just waiting on the telephone to shut off. When it shut off, it shut off. Ain't nothing I can do. Okay, Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. So 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed because of their undying love for Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So when the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua enacts martial law through the Insurrection Act of 1798, that's going to allow him to push selective service and the national draft. Young men and young women of marriageable age, okay, under the age of 50, are going to be drafted into their fucking military in order to go to war in the valley of Jehoshaphat, or in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, or Yahweh's judgment. Okay? And they're going to have to, unknowingly to them, they're going to be told a goddamn lie through mind control, government, right? That they're fighting against their enemies of the cause of justice in America, right? They're going to believe it. Because the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai says that he's going to give them into the hand of a cruel Lord, right? Let's get it. Isaiah chapter 19. Let's start at verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Spiritual Sodom in Egypt was America, right? Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right? So all hope and all of that is going to be dashed against the goddamn stones here in the next few weeks, because the shelves are going to start to become empty. Like it says in, what is it, 2nd Ezra? 2nd Ezra chapter 6. What is it, verse 22? And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So 2/3 of our people are going to fucking starve to death, or they're going to commit sedition among men and invading one another. Like it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14 through 16. Okay? They're going to be kicking each other's door in, trying to find some canned goods or some ramen noodles or some water or medicine, and spoil their goods with the sword. And the modern day sword is the gun. See? All these things are about to happen, and nobody believes it, because it hasn't happened yet. Then when the Most High brings in the famine of the word by executive order, Donald Trump, aka Nero in the reincarnation, going to put an executive order saying make it illegal to stand out here on street corners and preach the word of truth, right? Making it motherfucking illegal. Then you won't be able to find us no more. And then they can start taking down our channels in order for you to find the information that you need in order to receive salvation. You see? 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So pretty soon, like I said, you ain't gonna find no food. You go to goddamn Dillon's, Kroger, Sam's Club, Costco, trying to find something to eat, you're gonna start seeing empty pallets, empty shelves. And then you go over there and ask questions about it. With the tariffs in place, we can't replace any of the stuff. And it's just gonna get worse and worse. That's gonna cause people to panic buy. To buy what's up, what's there, what's left. Next time you get paid, you go to the goddamn stores, there's nothing on the shelf to buy. What you gonna do? Okay? Then they're gonna be raising prices at these goddamn fast food restaurants. What happens when they run out of food? They're gonna shut the door, because they don't have chicken. Like you see in Popeyes behind me over here. You know, they don't have no chicken. Okay? What you gonna do then? See? What happens when you ain't got no running water to take a bath, to wash your nasty bleeding pussy hole or your nasty ass? See? This is what martial law is gonna do. That allows Donald Trump to just shut down everything by a fucking flip of a switch. Why do you think they put the water source of your house on the grid? That way they can just flip a switch and turn your water off. How you gonna wash your ass? How you gonna take a bath, take a shower, get a glass of water out of your fountain? See? All these things are being done in order to bring about the kingdom of heaven on earth, ran by Israelites. You goddamn devils have had an opportunity to run the world straight into the fucking ground. And the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to destroy you for that shit. So you can't even be mad about it. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. Right? They're going to come with draconian law. Make it illegal. You can't do this. You can't do that. Motherfuckers going to be scared. Look, Donald Trump done already signed an executive order that allows the police to be exonerated for the murder of the children of Israel in the fucking street. They can kill a black man and walk home scot-free and lauded as a goddamn hero. Okay, that's going to cause more of these Edomite Caucasians to become police officers. That way, they can satisfy their bloodlust to killing Negroes in the street, Latinos in the street. The executive order's already been signed. It goes into full effect July 29th, 2025. What you gonna do? Right? And at that time, shall friends fight one against another like enemies, right? If the full places are, the full storehouses are suddenly found empty, right? And the sown places unsown, you know, all these farms, ain't no food to go get, what then, right? At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. I just went over, they're gonna shut off your power, they're gonna shut off your water, and there's nothing you can do about it. But get your ass in line under martial law to get rations, food rations, water rations. You only gonna get food for a day. It's gonna cost you enough money for 2 weeks. That's all the money you're gonna get is enough money to food to eat for a day, to feed your entire goddamn family for one person. This is the wickedness and the cruel Lord found in Isaiah 19, right? Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation in the end of your world. And those individuals are the elect of the house of Israel that are going to see the salvation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in the form of his son Yahushua Mashiach in these last days. Right before the advent of the Son of Man, all hell's going to break loose. And you can feel it in the air. It's almost palpable. You can touch the stress that people are under. And the men that are received shall see it, what? The end of your world. Who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. Okay? So as I was explaining on the other video this morning that I was making, okay, the Israelites, the reason why they commit sin, or Esau Edom, the so-called white man, allows them to commit sin is because he knows that they're the Israelites and that's their weak spot. Our weak spot, sin, is our kryptonite. Okay? Sin, which is the transgression of the law, is our kryptonite. The law was given to the Israelites. It was not given to all nations. So the only people that the Most High cares enough to save are the Israelites that he gave his law to. Let's go get it. Psalms chapter 147, verse 19, I think it is. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So the only reason why we haven't been completely destroyed from off the face of the earth, plucked up and forgotten about, is because the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua still loves his people. And his people are the Israelites of the Holy Bible. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. When we try to tell you the truth, you don't believe it. You scoff, you mock, you talk shit. You throw up gang signs like that shit is supposed to mean something. Y'all seen it in the bullshit car over here. I know y'all did, man. If you didn't, I apologize. But yeah, throwing up gang signs and shit. Right? He showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Okay, the southern Israelites, Salakia, did I get out of the camera? Salakia. The southern Israelites, exiled from Israel in 70 AD, are the tribe of Judah, which are the Negroes, the real Jews, the tribe of Benjamin, the Jamaicans, and the tribe of Levi, the Haitians. So Paul the Apostle was a Jamaican from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, Bob Marley's people. Well, actually Bob Marley's dad was an Edomite, but just saying, the vast majority of the people that there, okay, are Jamaicans. They're from the tribe of Benjamin. And the people in Haiti are from the tribe of Levi. And the Negroes are the real Jews from the tribe of Judah. So those people that are over there pretending to be us are imposters. The northern Israelites, the tribe of Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans, the tribe of Issachar, the Mexicans, the tribe of Simeon are those of the Dominican Republic, right? The tribe of Zebulon, the El Salvadorians and Panamanians, the tribe of Reuben, the Seminole Indians, the tribe of Gad, the North American Indians, the tribe of Manasseh, the Cubans, the tribe of Asher, the Brazilians, the Venezuelans, Chileans, Argentinians, the tribe of Naphtali, Chilean Argentinians, Salakia, and the tribe of Asher are the Brazilians and Venezuelans. Okay, and all these tribes make up Jacob and Jerusalem, all containing Israel. Remember Jacob, he wrestled an angel, right, and prevailed, and his name was changed from Jacob to Israel, which means he who wrestles with the Most High. But in actuality, in the Lashawan Kodash language, his name was Yaquab, and his name was changed from Yaquab to Yasharallah, Prince of God, or Prince of the Power. Okay? So the only people that are going to receive the salvation of the Lord upon his advent when he gets here are the Israelites. Those are the people that he chose from the salvation of the earth. These Edomite devils that have read the Bible and understand it are trying to act as the strangers, right? Trying to get in as the strangers. The strangers are the uncircumcised of our people that were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who are Israelites. You cannot be a spiritual Israelite unless you are an Israelite in the blood. Let's go get it. Hebrews. Wow, what the fuck? Hebrews chapter 9, verse 1. Then verily, okay, Salakia. No, not Hebrews chapter 9. Romans chapter 9, Salakia. I was like, what? Salakia, let me get it. Salakia for that slip up. Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have had great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the services of the Most High, and the promises. So the only people that can be saved, who can be called spiritual Israelites, are the Israelites of the Holy Bible. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You cannot call yourself a stranger or an uncircumcised living among the Israelites unless you are an Israelite living among the heathen, scattered amongst the heathen nations. Esau, Edom is adverse to all righteousness. They do everything completely adverse to all what the Most High wrote down. They do everything backwards. Not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Right? For they are not all Israel. And those individuals that are not all Israel are 2/3 of our people that are going to be cut off and die on this side. Like it says in that Israelite pride, tribe of salvation and destruction over there. See it? Okay. Like it says in Zechariah chapter 13:8. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. Let's get it. And then I'll come back to Romans. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2/3 of our people got to be cut off on this side. And the reason why is because they refuse to repent. Repentance is the changing of the mind and the changing of your heart. That you would willingly desire the sincere word, milk of the word. That you would want to willingly follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God in heaven. Okay? Which we know you can't keep the law perfectly, but what we try to do is we try to get you to do what we can by explaining to you and expounding to you the grace and mercy that Yahweh provided for you through the atonement blood that he shed on the cross, so this way it would cover you in the mistakes that you make in keeping the law. Right? And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a 3rd part shall be left therein. Right? And that 3rd part is the Israel of the Most High God. Like it says in Galatians chapter 6, verse 16. Okay? The remnant of Israel. Like it says in Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. Right? And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is my power. And the only people that are going to say that are the elect of the house of Israel, that the Most High chose to provide his name. So the only people that are going to be calling upon the true name of the Lord during Jacob's trouble are those called the Israel of God. Right? The elect that have been predestinated by predetermination by the Most High from before the foundation of the earth was laid. See? Another thing that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and these goddamn Christians don't like is a predetermination, predestination. They can't stand it because that cuts them out of trying to come in saying that God loves everybody bullshit, which is a lie. He loves the Israelites. And not only black people are going to get into heaven. Okay? I said that the Israelites had been scattered abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth, and these Israelites have been intermingling their seed for generations with the heathen nations in which they were scattered to. So the Israelites that are going to be saved are going to be those that look like the heathen nations. Okay? But that doesn't mean everybody's going to be saved. The Most High has the ability to pick and choose who he's going to save. Okay? Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. Right? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is going to save his people. Right? Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leaves, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Okay? And IUIC over there is telling people the Lord ain't going to do good or evil. That's what they're fucking saying on their fucking podcasts. And then you have Vocab Malone saying the same shit. Talking to a guy by the name of Robert Dalton. Right? Talking shit out of the side of his neck, not knowing the biblical scriptures. Right? Verse 13. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 13. Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Okay? And you have Zabak and other individuals at the HOI camps talking about they trying to buy farmland. IUIC and ISUPK, Tazariak, going around saying they're trying to buy farmland. So this way they can build the kingdom of heaven here on this side, with Esau Edom ruling over them. Right? That's called Stockholm Syndrome. Let me see if I can find that for you. It's lucky. Lucky. Hold on. Stockholm Syndrome. I'm trying to find a definition. Because I write down a lot of this stuff, you know, in the happenstance that Esau Edom shut down the internet. Yep, I wrote it down. Lucky. Whatever. Oh no, I tried to find it. It ain't there. It's here, but it's probably in another one of my notebooks. Yeah. It's in another one of my notebooks. Right? But like I said before, 2/3 of our people got to be destroyed on this side because they refuse to repent to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The nature of Nero's persecution, right? Due process. Okay, without justification or protection against unlawful imprisonment, due process is a legal process or principle that protects individual rights from arbitrary government actions. It ensures fair treatment through the judicial system, requiring that all legal rights owed to a person are respected. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, does not respect you. Okay? Did Nero accuse the Israelites? Yes. Church tradition strongly holds that Emperor Nero ordered the execution of Paul the Apostle, and Paul was likely executed during Nero's persecution, circa 64 to 67 AD. See what I'm saying? Did Nero persecute the church? Yes. Emperor Nero was actively persecuting the Messianic church, particularly around 64 AD, after the Great Fire of Rome. And what is Donald Trump trying to do now? He's doing it again with modern day fire called tariffs, setting America on fire to where it fails and crashes into the fucking ground. Right? In 64 AD, a massive fire destroyed much of Rome, and rumors spread that Nero himself started the fire to clear land for his palace, Demons Aurea, right? And this is what these devils have done. Esau Edom wants Donald Trump to destroy all of Gaza Strip and wipe it out, right? Because and set up the Ben Gurion Canal, where it's a two-way highway for shipping and receiving, right? Okay, set up the Ben Gurion Canal, and then after they set up the Ben Gurion Canal, okay, they've also found oil in the Gaza Strip area. That's the reason why they're destroying all those people over there, so this way they can take part in the destruction. They're going to set up Trump Plaza. Okay, after they destroy America, Trump Plaza is going to be the new Las Vegas of the Middle East. That's the point. So Trump is Nero in the reincarnation all over again. Right? What was Nero trying to do? He was trying to shift the blame. Nero accused those that believed in Yahweh Shai, a minority group that was already viewed with suspicion by many Roman citizens. Right? So they're going to try to blame it all on us and say it's our fault that America's going to shit. He's already blaming it on the Latinos, or else they wouldn't be trying to kick everybody the fuck out of here. Right? Saying that they're illegal aliens. The real illegal alien, okay, the real illegal alien is these Edomite Caucasians. Right? They cause the land to tremble and all the different lands in which they inhabit. Okay, everybody fears these goddamn Edomites because they're afraid that they're going to come to their land and start a war and take their natural resources, where everybody's subjugated to the imperialistic policies of these Edomite Caucasians. Right? Salaki. Anyway, let me get back over here too. I think it's back the other way. Yeah. Right? Check this out. Who are the Medes in biblical prophecy? Do you know? Does anybody out there know? They don't give a shit. All they care about is Jesus Christ. That allows them to smoke weed and get high. That's all they give a fuck about. They don't give a shit about telling the truth. They are not willing to risk their lives and their freedom to come out here to tell you the truth to your face. They don't give a damn. Let's get Daniel. All right, let's go back to Zephaniah. It was Zephaniah, right? Zephaniah 1, verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. And the day of the Lord is going to be at a time when there's no food, there's no water, the children are hungry, the women are stressing the man the fuck out, there's no job, right? Okay, the man's going to cry bitterly, begging for the Lord's help. But while place of liberty was open unto them, they didn't understand the reason why we were out here preaching against Esau Edom, the so-called white man that they love so goddamn much. Okay? They despised us. The same must know it after death by pain. And that first part of that pain is crying there bitterly. Verse 14. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Now, where are the fenced cities and high towers at? America, Babylon the Great. Where are the fenced cities at? Okay, all of these major cities that have, what do you call it, the National Guard there. And, Salakia, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. So it's going to be dead bodies all over the place. Now that Donald Trump passed that executive order that gave Esau Edom, the white man, and all these police officers the opportunity to just blow up anybody, shoot everybody down in the goddamn street like a dog. You know, you have, what's his name, Rodney Hinton Jr. that ran over that police officer, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, right? Where is that, in Exodus chapter 21? Okay, so that's his mindset. That's what the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to end up putting the mindset of a lot of our people. When they start seeing their children being gunned down in the goddamn street by these Edomite devils without any recompense or any recourse of anything, right? Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be ever to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to make a speedy riddance of everything that you see behind me. Cars, trucks, houses, buildings. All this shit is going to be melted with great fervent heat. Because it took great fervent heat in order to, the intermingling of the elements, right? In order to make brick and concrete and tar, right? So it's going to take the same type of fire, only 100,000 times hotter, to melt everything back into its original elements. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. And the prey is Esau Edom, the so-called white man in this biblical context. Okay? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is the prey of the Most High. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour out upon them mine indignation. And the weapon of the Lord's indignation are intercontinental intercontinental ballistic missiles that are going to melt this place down to its base elements. Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Okay? And the fire of the jealousy that the Most High is referring to is intercontinental thermonuclear ballistic missiles and thermal great fervent heat. Like it says in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. That great fervent heat is the fire of the Lord's jealousy, to melt all the elements down with fervent heat. And our people are now starting to wake up more generalized to the fact that they're the Israelites, but they don't have a teacher. They don't have anybody to guide them. So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua sent righteous men, risking all of them, everything that what they do, okay, in order to preach the gospel, right? So like it. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Damn it, come on, man. Salaki. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. For I think the Most High has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were, appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. We are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Right? Like it says in 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12. Right? So like it. For even unto this present hour are we both hungered and thirst and naked and buffeted and have no certain dwelling place and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it. So people come by and persecute me all the time, flip me off, call me a nigger, spit on the fucking ground. One little 10-year-old kid came by and poured pop all over one of my pictures just because he didn't like it. That is what he was taught. They teach at a Christian church. You see what I'm saying? They teach their little kids to do evil. The last time I did a live stream, they had a little Latino boy that flipped me off in the backseat of his mom and daddy's car while they drove off laughing and giggling, thinking that punk shit was cute. Being defamed, we entreat. We are made as the filth of the world and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. Right? They don't want to hear nothing we got to say. All they want to hear is God loves everybody and go about your goddamn way. And that is not the truth of the Holy Bible. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua tried to tell our people what they need to do in order to receive salvation. And he sent righteous men right before the downfall of any kingdom. Before the downfall of any kingdom, the Most High sent prophets to prophesy the downfall of any kingdom. Every last one. The Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Grecians, the Romans, and now the Roman Empire. Okay? But our people don't give a shit. So, ain't nothing else to do, man. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 14. I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. For though ye have 10,000 instructors and the anointed, yet ye have not many fathers. For in Yahweh, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, I have begotten you through the gospel. So that's what we try to do. But Esau Edom has a plan to silence dissent. And in the eyes of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, we are dissenters. Right? They'll call us terrorists. Right? Domestic terrorists. by preaching the Bible. Right? Because they feel that they're being falsely accused when they tried so goddamn hard to change the narrative and to be politically correct instead of being bloodthirsty animals that God made them to be. Right? All these Edomites are bloodthirsty animals. They'll shoot us down in the goddamn street and smile and laugh about it over dinner. That's what they do. This is who they are as a race. And when we point it out, ain't nobody trying to hear it. Because everybody's trying to kiss their ass. Daniel chapter 5 verse 28. Okay, let's start up some. Now, let's start at Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, their God. Okay, so these are the elect 1/3 of the house of Israel that are going to be saved, predestinated and predetermined by the Most High in heaven. This is what these Edomite devils hate. All these so-called Jews. They hate it with a passion. Because that means that they get cut out of the salvation. This is already their heaven. They got cars. They got chariots with horsepower that run on their own without horses. 2,000 years ago, if you see a cart rolling down the street, that would be like magic. Where are the cars? It's full of people. Right? 2,000 years ago, if they seen a goddamn TV, right, they'd accuse the person and sitting up there watching the TV, it's a witch, let's burn it. Right? But this is what these Edomites do. Now that they're politically correct, they want to call and profess themselves to be Christians. So what they do, through supersessionism and replacement theology, they think and believe that they can replace God's chosen people, which is a lie. And they teach that bullshit at church every Sunday in order to force our people to believe it. Look at this madness. Wearing pink. See that bullshit? That's what I mean. 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die on this side, man, because they refuse to keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. They ain't going to do it no matter what we do, no matter what we say to these people. They're going to continue to do wrong in the eyes of the Lord, because that's what they believe they should be doing, because God lets them do it. Like it says in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were, even from the beginning of the creation. And 2/3 of our people believe that shit, along with Esau Edom, the so-called white man, reinforcing that mindset on our people, to where they lose faith in hope. What is faith? Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders had good report. Right? But our people have lost faith and belief in the Lord. They don't believe in the Most High no more. They believe in white man. White man Jesus can save them. Right? And as long as they bow down and kiss the ass of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, they don't have to worry about their kids being killed and shot down in the street. But if you travel down further down south in America, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, North and South Carolina, right? They don't give a shit. Donald Trump gave them free reign to kill us all. Broad, point blank range, broad daylight. Right? Let's get Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord thy God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for he will abundantly pardon. So we're doing the best we can to get our people to repent, to turn back, to return back to the Lord, and forsake their sin. Make their prayer before his face and offend less, as it is written in the book of Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 24. Let's get it. The book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 24. But unto them that repent, he granted them return, and comforted those that failed in patience. Return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less. Return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less. But will they do it? No. They like smoking weed, getting high, getting drunk, and being disrespectful to their parents and their elders. They love it to death. They can't live life without doing wrong. Right? If following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord is wrong, they don't want to be right. See? Verse 26. Turn again to the Most High and turn away from iniquity, for he will lead thee out of darkness and into the light of health, and hate thou abominations vehemently. But 2/3 of our people will not hear the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. They will not stop at the mouthpiece of the Lord. They will not pay attention. They drive right on by, walk right on by, don't give a damn. So I refuse to lay it down to let it be said that I did not do my job to do what I could to persuade my people to turn around. But they ain't gonna do it. They like doing evil and wickedness in the sight of God even, and don't give a goddamn about the consequences. Right? Ecclesiasticus, Verse 19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Right? And clearly, while persuading our people, we try to expound the things that are too high and too above their strength to understand. So this way, it would bring in remembrance what it means to be humble and lowly before the Most High, and to give respect and reverence for his name. That way that they can receive the salvation that they seek, instead of going to the so-called white man for deliverance. But they won't listen. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 27. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. What is sin? 1 John chapter 3, verse 4 states, he that sinneth transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. Well, the law, statutes, and commandments were given to the Israelites. So the only people that can actually commit a sin are Israelites. See? Not everybody. Everybody else can commit sin in your eyesight, but your job is to refrain from committing sin. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 22. But what is commanded of thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to seek that with thine eyes the things that are in secret. But 2/3 of our people have become scoffers and mockers. Like I said earlier in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that in the last days they become scoffers, walking after their own lusts, that say, ever since the fathers fell asleep, the world continued as it were, even from the beginning of the creation. Roughly paraphrased. So 2/3 of our people are going to be left here and melted with thermonuclear heat. Like it says in Psalms 110, okay, that the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai states that they shall be willing in the day of his power. So when they see the Son of God coming in power through the clouds with power and great glory, they'll be willing to repent then, but by then it'll be too fucking late. And then when we try to tell you what to do and how to get out of the way of the judgment of the Lord, you don't care. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 26. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. You know, that's for these little gangbangers that have blood touching blood, like it says in the book of Hosea chapter 4. Right? They that loveth danger shall perish therein. Right? Now, I don't mean to say nothing wicked or evil against the brother Rodney, whatever his last name is, Junior, his son, that got shot down by that cop. But we all know, I was a teenager once, okay? I was excited by danger, okay? I get it, but the young man got caught up in it. You see what I'm saying? He probably ain't busted a grape in a fruit fight, right? I ain't committed no sin or nothing. Probably, like I said before earlier in the video, he ain't even, probably still a virgin, ain't even known the warmth of a woman's womb, right? But Esau Edom don't care, man. All Esau Edom is about is the destruction of our people, because he knows that our people are the Israelites and that they're waking up exponentially. So what's he got to do? He's got to set Rome on fire where the Israelites dwell. He's got to set it on fire. He's got to burn it up. So the only way he can burn it up is push these goddamn tariffs, just like Nero did, with his own hand, setting Rome on fire. Okay, that's going to force these nations to fulfill biblical prophecy in Revelation chapter 17, verse 18. They shall hate the whore, right? And they shall burn her with fire, for strong is the Lord that judgeth her. Who is her? Babylon the Great, where 2/3 of our people dwell, who are waking up as the Israelites of the Holy Bible. So he's going to set Rome on fire all over again, deliberately and on purpose. Okay, and then invite everybody to Corpus Aurelius, aka Trump Gaza. Same goddamn thing. Everything back then is happening now, right? Where was I at? Okay, verse 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. So we're trying to spark the idea of curiosity in our people, like it says for us to do in Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 18. Let's get it. Okay. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Right? And these are these pictures I put out here to spark curiosity, to prompt them to ask questions. It's not a fucking gimmick. I'm trying to get our people to wake up and teach them what they should do in order to receive the salvation that they seek out of the hand of their enemy, Esau, and the so-called white man. What's wrong with that? The people told me they couldn't read. Hell, if you don't know how to goddamn read, I'll just make a bunch of pictures that you can understand. Because our people are visual learners for the most part anyway. Right? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and I just mentioned that Ephraim are the Puerto Ricans, right? And the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and Judah, right, are the southern Israelites, the tribe of Judah are the Negroes, the real Jews, right, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And this is the one stick in the hand of the people, or in the hand of the Israelite teachers. All right. See that? This represents the one stick today. You have the sap of a tree that's been solidified, called paper. You have the wood that these placards are upon that are made from a tree. And the ink, or the sap of a tree, was made that puts all of these different tribes together on one stick, on one tree, right? Solidified paper. Okay. So this is the one stick. And nobody wants to believe it anymore. They're sick and tired. They ran out of patience. Anyway, I don't think you can pause this, King. Anyway, That's long enough. I've been out here long enough, fellas. 85 degrees out here. Okay. I did the best I could. I did what I needed to do. And the people don't give a shit, right? So, anyway, the law, statutes, and commandments stand sure to this day. The law is always standing. It has never been done away with, like these goddamn Edomite Caucasians tell a lie. Okay? And the Most High is going to destroy them from off the face of the earth for telling that lie. Because they're not being, they're disingenuous. Okay? All right, so today's lesson was about we are in the worst case scenario in Babylon the Great. Esau Edom is about to come down with great wrath because he knoweth he hath but a short time. Okay? 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Let me get that right quick before I shut it down. Okay, hold on. Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Went too far. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And one of the devices that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has put out, okay, is the internet. TikTok. These are his devices. The radio frequency identification chip, aka the mark of the beast. Okay? This is one of his wicked devices. Let's get it. Psalms chapter 21, verse 9. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. Why? For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. And this mischievous device is New World Order based on the radio frequency identification microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay? All of these people don't understand it. It's the size of a grain of rice that they want to implant underneath your skin. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to send me some prayers up to the Lord in the hope that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah, will forgive me for not being out here for over 2 hours. Call Allah, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Kakadash, Babakusha, 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 Shemai, Azanaya, La'arapayat, Bayawam, Tazara, Abal, Zukwanaya. Help me not faint in the day of adversity, but strengthen me. Shemai, Azanaya, Alahaya, Maya Yabya, Atazenam, Naya, Mamatakwak, Wamamaya. Deliver me from mine enemies, O my God. Defend me from them that rise up against me. Right? La'a, Shemai, Azanaya, La'a, Ta'azabanaya, Yahweh, Alahaya, La'a, Taracha, Mamanya, Kawasha, La'a, Zartataya, Oh my God, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord of my salvation. Bataza dataka, bataza ya naya, wata palat naya, bataza ya, hatalaya, azanka, wa hawachaya anaya. Deliver me in thy righteousness and cause me to escape. Incline thine ear unto me and save me. By Yaakov Tazar in Jacob's trouble. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. Salutations to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. Salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad. I want to give honor, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep going, Lord willing. Adawan Ratazah. So with that, Shalom. I'm sorry I couldn't stay out here longer, man, but it's starting to get hot, and I got some stuff to do. Okay, so Shalom, y'all. I hope I brought some edification out there to y'all. I don't know. I hope so. Nothing else I could do, man. I did my best. Because, you know, my telephone says it wants to overheat. I'm like, damn. So, all we can do is hope, man. Hope it stay on. I don't know. It might shut off. But anyway, Shalom, y'all. I'm trying to do too many things at once.